Hello everyone, so here we are going to present our midterm project. And first of all, my name is Rosamelia Putri and my friend Shalsa Flor Ezlitani. So we are going to present a translating Indonesian reduplication into English. First is theoretical background. The definitions of reduplication is a morphological process repeating part or all of a word. Number one is full reduplications, the exact repositions of the sound and word. For example, jalan-jalan and anak-anak in Indonesia and bye-bye and boo-boo in English. Number two is partial reduplications and imitative or upload. That involves reduplications of only a part of a word. For example, gerak-gerik and sayur-mayur in Indonesia, and ping-pong or chit-chat in English. And the next is types. There's full reduplications, the exact repetitions, for example, buku-buku. And next is partial reduplications. The only part of the word is repeated. And the last one is upload reduplications, that vowels or consonant variations like ping pong. Next is reduplication theorist. Number one is Larson in 1998 calls this kind of translation as form-based translation, which attempts to follow the forms of the source language. Larson also proposed another kind of translation called meaning-based translation, which makes every effort to communicate the source language in the natural forms of the receptor language. Number two is Newmark in 1988 mentions that there are 14 procedures that can be used by a translator in the translation process, two of which can be used to analyze the translations of Indonesian reduplications into English. Next is concepts. Reduplication in Indonesian often implies number one, plurality, for example buku-buku, to be books, and number two, intensity, for example marah-marah, to be shouting angrily or got angry. Number three, repetition, for example berkali-kali, to be repeatedly. Number four, idiomatic or cultural meaning, for example bombok jamu, to be traditional herbal vendors. Next is common mistaken. There's literal translations that saying jalan-jalan as a walking sounds odd in English. And also grammar shift, that reduplication might require a change in the word class from noun to be verb. And the last one is cultural terms, that is bombok jamu cannot be translated directly without losing its meaning. Sometimes a footnote or explanations is needed.
Example 1 in literature, pagi-pagi, instead of morning, it becomes early in the morning. This shows how idiomatic and natural expression work better in English. Example 2 in news articles, berulang-ulang, repeatedly or again and again, the verb berulang is translated into an adverb for match with English grammar. Example 3 in everyday speech, main-main, that usually used in relationship, not being serious. Literal translation like play don't work. The meaning must match the social context. And next is techniques used. Number one is transposition, changing from noun to adjective, example, kimia to chemical. Number two is modulation, changing point of view to match natural English expression. So the last is summary, Reduplication in Indonesian is often used to express plurality, intensity, or repetition, cannot be translated literally into English. Instead, the translator must apply meaning-based approaches as suggested by Larson and Newmark that using techniques like transposition and modulation such as pagi-pagi becoming early in the morning or main-main as not being serious. So how context and natural English expression are key to accurate translation. So this is our presentation. Thank you so much guys.